Welcome back, Nick Lenz Comic Corner Classic. That's known classics. This is episode number 2048, that was on 1942. I once again have another thing of like a mini series, and another one is a finale for a trade series. Alright, first up we have is a spin off of Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk with Gamma Flight. Yep, Gamma Flight. Yeah, they first appeared toward the end of the Immortal Hulk book, and here's a fun fact about this miniseries. These issues were released toward the end, during the final months of Al Ewing's run for Immortal Hulk, and the last couple issues came out even after the book wrapped up. Now, in this book, basically, Gamma Flight, which is made at this point led by Puck with Absorbman, yes, Absorbman, Titania. You're probably thinking, who's that in the back? That's Doc Samson, who's currently Sasquatch, because the actual Sasquatch is dead. Yes, seriously. We also have the reporter from the main book. She's in here too, part of this group. And apparently, they're in this book, they deal with gamma rays and stuff. And they first went to Scar, who's been repowered. And this also deals with a loose end from the main book. They also have someone called Stockpile in this book, who turns to be the daughter of one of the primary villains of the first half of Immortal Hulk. The general who was in charge of that shadow base, which Hulk took over after he got killed. And apparently he's become the Zordman. Yes, apparently not Zordman. The Abomination, who's been resurrected somehow. Yeah, it's kind of weird with this one, per se. Yeah. Come on, seriously, thank you. If I guess remembers correctly. Dale Fry, who is a character from the Immortal Hulk book. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in the book too. Also, Rick Jones gets revived in this miniseries. Yeah, he gets fully revived. Yeah, after he got killed off in the Vince Taken Empire. I guess Al Ewing probably felt though. Yeah, killing him off was definitely a good idea. Yeah, and apparently Abomination came back fully this time. As part of like Project Green Spring. Yep. Yeah, and apparently he's fully back now. Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you're curious, though, has a Zordman seen the Abomination since this miniseries wrapped up? Yes, he has. He popped up in Grand Design Madness, an issue of Devil's Reign Heroes for Hire number 3, Grand Design Madness for Hulk, Grand Design Monster. It was first appearance actually in the first issue of Thunderbolts. Yep. They killed off the Doctor Alina Abba, who actually is who is a Greg Pak character. Yeah, they killed her off in this miniseries. Like, I guess Al Ewing probably felt as though this character probably allowed them to use this because Weapon Omega, Weapon H is basically no longer useful around anymore, so they pretty much in a way just killed her off. They didn't do much with her after. Like, prior to this miniseries, she was last seen Hulk for Reigns. That came out in 2019. Yeah, 2019. And here, this book came out in 2021, roughly like 2 years later. They also have Hulkbuster Force. And Scar has been repowered here. Yeah, Scar is repowered as part of Project Green Spring, excuse me. Who just did this miniseries, and that's it. They pretty much got this man once this miniseries wrapped up. Yeah, Scar has been repowered thanks to this company. Yeah. It's kind of weird. Yeah, and here's the thing, though. He's been depowered since Gary Duggan's Immortal Hulk book. I guess that Al Ewing felt as though that was kind of a bad thing for him, so they just repowered him. And here's the thing with Scar. This is his first appearance. He last appeared. He also did technically appear in Marvel Comics 1000, but you could say technically his most recent appearance before this one was actually Fallen. It was a one-shot dealing with the Hulk's after Hulk's death. That was the last time he was seen in any comic. I came about 6 years ago. Then yes, he appeared in Marvel Comics 1000, one of the stories there, but that was like 3 years later. But I would say this is more prop appearance for him since Fallen. And since the miniseries wrapped up, he popped up in the miniseries Planet Hulk World Breaker. At least he's mentioned. I actually think it's a reprint. Yeah, but this book is really good. Love it. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. I do recommend it to people fans of Hulk. Yeah, it's a good companion piece for Immortal Hulk. That's the best way to describe this book. Next we have another finale. We have Rocket Raccoon Volume 2 Storyteller. Yes, this is the finale for Rocket Raccoon. And you're thinking, really? Oh yeah, really? Yeah, of the second volume for the series. It's more like Rocket Raccoon craziness, per se, in this book. Yeah, that's mostly basically what this book deals with. And mostly a lot of this book is just pure stuff for the relaunch of the series, Rocket and Rocket Raccoon and Groot. That's most of this book does have stuff, but the book ends with Rocket Raccoon in jail, which does have his appearance in the pages of Howard the Duck. Yeah, the next story came to let's see, I think it's 3 years later. Let's see. Oh, it was nulling afterwards, so they pretty much in the way just continued Rocket Raccoon and Groot. Yeah, pretty much in the way they kind of added Groot to this series, and they just, continued the crazes they had from the previous book, and still Scott Young wrote it. Yeah, it was simply just a relaunch of this book. Yeah. So the end of this book and relaunch as Rocket Raccoon Groot, not long afterwards. And in case you're curious, though, they did have one more Rocket Raccoon published book after this one, about 2 years later, by, of all people, Matthew Rosberg, and this was a damn good book. I loved it. But this book is just pure comedy, this one. And I do enjoy the comedy here. Now, Scotty Young does not do much for the artwork person. I think he does most of the covers. He does not do the interiors. He did for the opening issues, but not for these issues. For these remaining 5 issues of the series, of this run anyways. The artwork is by Felipe Andre, and that's issue 7 and 8. Last 3 issues by Jake Parker. But pretty good here. Wrap up the story. They pretty much tell, but still continuing with this craziness for this book. Now, the only reason the book was launched was because the popularity of Rocket Raccoon thanks to the popularity of the character thanks to the movie. Alongside Star-Lord. Star-Lord was just pure fun. This is just a comedy. But I enjoy it. And of course, that book is about Sam Humphrey. This is by Scotty Young. The Legend of Star was later relaunched as simply Star-Lord after the events of Secret Wars. Actually, it was right after Legend of Star-Lord, after issue 12. And then it was relaunched as Star-Lord for about 6 issues. And then it ended and it was brought back just a couple years later by Chip Zdarsky, which of course was a really good book. And that's it for Star-Lord since then, for solo book-wise. Rocket, of course, we get 3 books after this book wrapped up. We get, of course, Rocket and Groot, Raccoon Volume 3, and series Rocket by Al Ewing. Yep. But it's just a good book. Yep. I do recommend it to people who are fans of Rocket Raccoon. That's the people I recommend this book for. Yep. So, yes, that's particularly it for this particular review. Next, I'm going to do a couple of manga reviews, and then it's on to Boruto. Okay? Thanks for you. Bye.